and the phonics and words like that come from Phoenician. So go back and look at the Phoenician people, and you will see that what we call Phoenicia is today referred to as Israel. Israel is the ancient land of Canaan in the Bible. You talk about all the horrible things that were going on in the land of Canaan. And that God cursed us with the land of Canaan and said it was a terrible place and to have nothing to do with it. That's in the Bible, the Old Testament. Well, Canaan today is called Israel. Israel is the land of Canaan today. And this is why this is when you get into the words and terms of where these words come from, and the incredible story about the Canaanite religion. The priests of Canaan, they would offer up sacrifice. Usually it was children. They would burn as a sacrifice. They would kill the children and burn their bodies on an altar. And then, according to the Canaanite religion, they said they were worshiping the sun. And the Canaanites called the sun Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal. Baal worship was the worship of the sun in the land of Canaan. Go back and look at it. Today, we say that we know that the priests of Canaan who were worshiping Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal as the sun, they were Baal worshippers, and they would offer up human sacrifice. They would kill children and people and then burn their bodies, but they were supposed to eat part of the burned bodies. They were burning the bodies so that God could smell the flesh. He liked smelling burnt flesh. And this is what we're told in the Canaanite religion, that God says, I love the smell of your sacrifices. The sacrifices were human, so they're burning humans on the altar. God loved the smell of human bodies burning. And so that's where we get this idea that they were Baal worshippers, were eating the bodies of their sacrifices.
In light of everything that is going on right now, I'm not feeling this. Okay, so there's a bunch of children around. He says, I do not eat children. I would never eat a child. What do you think I am? A monster? Wait, are you suggesting that I do eat children? Or maybe it is you who eats children. Not me. I love children. Look what's in the verb. Items belonging to children. Oh, pardon me. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes. And all these kids are missing now. I do not eat children. She says I do eat liars. But also, what is this? It's all human. The amount of people killed, sacrificed, ground up, and fed back to you is more than the cattle that's on the earth. Let's put it that way. Okay? We would steer clear of any type of ground meat unless you literally are getting it from a farm where they process their food right there and then. In which case, really it's usually a farm. They've got a little store there. They've got, their own package system, their own meat system. Short of that, we wouldn't recommend any type of ground meat to be consumed if you're concerned with whether you're participating in cannibalism or not. And the biggest issue, besides the obvious, for most people morally issue of eating another human being is the energy behind it. And also, your bodies are not designed to consume each other, so they cause all kinds of, it causes health problems as well, and things of that nature. And we know that you all have participated in it so far in your lives. Everybody's been eating this stuff. Everybody's been eating the fast food hamburgers. Everybody's been eating the ground up stuff and things like that. But we're just telling you that it's mostly human meat. It's mostly human meat. And a lot of it is other animals as well that you don't realize that they get rid of when they euthanize animals. And that's the hard truth. Most of the celebrities, the high-ranking celebrities, politicians, and things of that nature, they're on a purely cannibalistic diet. All of the meat that they eat are humans. And so they've got human meat processing plants. And they're not very hidden. They're pretty much, broadcast and out in the open. It's just that nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that while they're lined up in the line to get their fast food burgers through the drive-through. Okay? But that is a truth, and you all get to make a decision. You all are always able to make decisions as to what changes are you going to make. What changes are you going to make? Because on the moral aspect, okay, but there's the energy aspect. If we are all one, and you're literally eating yourselves, okay? On the energy aspect, there is no humane way to kill someone or something. There's no such thing. That's the stupidest thing anybody's ever explained. In fact, a good portion of it is all human meat. It's all human. The amount of people killed, sacrificed, ground up, and fed back to you is more than the cattle. That's all human. It's all human. Because there is some crazy shit going on over here. Okay? Number one, Walmart has had to take all of their meat off the shelf. Anything that's meat related, they've had to take it off the shelf. And word is, the reason they have to take it off the shelf is because of human meat. Plus, there has been some sort of situation at McDonald's that I think people are thinking. I think that McDonald's is coming under fire for being I think they have contracts with hospitals and stuff. This woman, she went into McDonald's to get something because she was on the road. She goes into McDonald's and she said when she walked to McDonald's, they were doing an interview kind of thing, and they did this interview deal with her, and they was asking the weirdest questions. They were asking her if she got the COVID shot. They were asking her if she was an organ donor. Okay, and so she got done with that, and she was talking to her mom, and she was like, "I'm gonna go use the restroom." She was at McDonald's. She's like, "I'm gonna go use the restroom, and I will be getting on the road." I had 30. She had 35 miles she had to go. Right. Okay, well, she goes to the bathroom, she washes her hands, everything goes black in McDonald's bathroom. The next thing she does, she's hearing a cop car, and she's in Oklahoma, okay, in the back of a meat processing truck, a meat truck, heading somewhere to a meat packing plant that puts together the meat that goes to McDonald's, okay? So, y'all, what? Number one, I will not be going into no McDonald's bathroom. Matter of fact, I don't even go to McDonald's, and I'm going to be sure I don't ever go back to McDonald's. If I go around, and that's going to be in the drive-thru for ice cream. That's it, if the machine's up. But the bottom line is, y'all, we really have got to be careful, because this is not the first incident. Okay, so right now, McDonald's and Walmart are both under fire, and as far as I'm concerned, I just don't want to eat anything right now. I would rather just you can't trust anything right now. So do your homework, pay attention to what's going on in the world, y'all, because between the PEDOs about and now saying, oh, that was so odd. So not too long ago, I told y'all, it's been about 4 months ago, I told you just stop going to.
All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah bahasham, Yahawahshi bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. It's the brother of Bakalah Walam here with another hopeful, edifying lesson to the elect body of Yahawah bahasham, Yahawahshi. This was showing you the state that our food supplies in through the hands of the powers that be that control it, which are the elites of Edom, which these are customs that were done in ancient times, shown in this first video here, right? We got Jordan Maxwell, the sacrificing of children to Baal, which also they sacrifice also other humans. Other people like adults also, but mainly children. And they had to eat the bodies. They would kill the children, then burn their bodies, right? And also they ate them, right? Let's go back.
And the incredible story about the Canaanite religion. The priest of Cana, they would offer up sacrifice. Usually it was children. They would burn as a sacrifice. They would kill the children and burn their bodies on the altar. And then, according to the Canaanite religion, they said they were worshiping the sun. And the Canaanites called the sun Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal. Baal worship was the worship of the sun in the land of Canaan. Go back and look at it. Today, we say that we know that the priests of Canaan who were worshiping Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal as the sun, they were Baal worshippers, and they would offer up human sacrifice. They would kill children and people and then burn their bodies, but they were supposed to eat part of the burned bodies. They would.
So look, you see, so they were supposed to eat part of the burned body. These things are already exposed. These things that you see in that PDF file with the ES guy. PDF file. He said that's what they were doing. It was eating babies. So there's nothing new under the sun. What is that? Come back to Leviticus 20. This is Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 9, it says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be. So like, okay, yeah, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun, right? So they was doing these things in ancient times, And they're doing these things today. These heathens, Esau Edom, which is the wicked, he is practicing these customs from ancient times, because that's where his power lies. He does these despicable acts, demonic rituals, in secret. They Moloch, they worship Moloch, Baal, Baal, however you want to pronounce it. That guy with a PDF file, he had an account that Baal was in that was in his account. So they do these behind the scenes in the dark, in secret, right? On the secret councils of the wicked, like what is it, Bohemian Grove, right? Uh, Davos, you know, and areas like that where these, there's these uh, far off places like that, these islands with that guy with the PDF, these areas that more or less is restricted. That only a chosen few are allowed to go there. They was doing these things. They are doing these things that was done in ancient time, right? Sacrificing to these to these entities, these demonic entities, Baal and Moloch, for example, which are basically the same gods, you know, and that's how Esau want to stay. That's how he stay in power. He he has to do these things on the left hand side. That's where he gets his energy, his demonic energy. So that's how they worship demons, by doing demonic things. And this has already been exposed, man. It's been exposed. The exposure is there, right? And these things is nothing new in the sun. They was doing in the ancient time in Canaan, which I'm gonna clarify that. Like he was telling you these things were done in the land of Canaan, and Israel is Canaan, but Esau, he's not gonna tell you the full truth. It's Ecclesiastes 1:9. Again, it says the thing that has been is that which shall be done, and that which is done, Salaki, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Verse 10. Is there anything thereof? It may be said, see, this is new. It has been already of old time, which was before us, right? So these things was that you see happening, these exposure of the exposure of these PDF files and what they was doing to these children. Now they got it in our foods, even in our food supply, making you participate without your acknowledgement or consent. You're participating in demonic rituals because the devil, the wicked, beareth rule. So now people are mourning because they see what is happening. There's these talks of human bodies are being um, um, put into our food supply and grinded up with like with like ground beef. Also they use stem cell. What is it? Like embryos. Or what is it called? Fetuses. Like they use fetuses. They got a company out there called Cinemax or Cinemix. So like it's Cinemix. SENOMYX. Cinemix. And they use aborted fetuses and been added as an additive um, in particular products like Pepsi's, Lay's potato chips, other things, man. And that's just just one example. So they're allowing us. I mean, they're forcing you to They're forcing you to participate in these demonic rituals without your acknowledgement, and this is pure wickedness, man. And this has been of old time. Like this guy, he was saying he was trying to say, yeah, in the land of Canaan, which the land of Canaan is Israel, and these things was going on, yeah. But Israel, the children of Israel started doing these things, but these things were being done by these other heathens in the land of Canaan before the children of Israel settled there. And that's an account. I'm gonna show you that in Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and 1. Leviticus 20 and 1, it says, "And the Lord Yahawah spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed to Moloch, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones." Right. So they were doing these things in these lands. What it says? See, the title says human sacrifice and immoralities, immoralities. Right. So they're doing these human sacrifices in ancient times, and they're doing it today. The elites of Edom, and unwillingly, people of America are, across the globe. Also, it's happening all over the globe. Largely in Babylon the Great, which is America, right? And the scripture also tells you that we shall eat our food defiled with the heathen, right? Our food is defiled under these devils, man. And this is grotesque, really, man. Grotesque, along with the GMOs, the lab-grown meats, on and on and on, man. Right? It's fucking sickening, man. Right? Sickening for real. This is Leviticus chapter 20 and 3, and it says, "And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he have given his seed to Moloch to defile the sanctuary and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do any wise hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth his seed to Moloch, and kill him not, then will I set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him to commit whoredom with Moloch from among their people." Right? So they was doing these things in ancient times, and the Lord said, if you do so, you will be put to death. And whoever allow it and condone these things, they will be put to death too. Because that's what they was doing in the land of Canaan, along with these. You can read on down these immoral acts. These acts of immorality, right? Keep reading, which I'm not going to read all of it. I'm not going to read all of it, but you can read it yourself. It says adultery, laying with your father's wife, laying with your uncle's wife, and uh, uh, practicing witchcraft and following after those with familiars, trying to seek familiar spirits and mediums and all sorts of wickedness, lying with your homosexuality, all that, man. That is happening. That's still happening today, right? But I'm gonna jump down to this section here to show you that they was doing these things in the land of Canaan, which is now the land of Israel. That's why the Lord got rid of those people, these heathen nations. This is on Leviticus 20 and 23. It says, "And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations, and ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation, which I cast out before you, for they have committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them." Right. So all this, what all these nations, other nations, were doing, their seed to Moloch, giving their seed to Moloch, and all these other wicked acts. Worshiping idols, all this acts of fornication, immorality. They was doing all these things. You can read it yourself. Read all of these things, right? Verse 24, it says, "But I have said unto you, ye shall but I said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord Yahawah, your power, which have separated you from other people," right? So the Lord has made us separate, meaning holy, separated us by the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So verse 25, it says, "And ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, between clean fowl and clean, between unclean fowl and clean, and ye shall not make your souls abominable by beasts, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean," right? These unclean, these abominable foods that people still indulge in, the children of Israel, right? You're still doing that also. And it says, "And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord Yahawah. I am holy, and I have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine. A man also and a man also or a woman that have a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall be stoned with, they shall be, they shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them," right? So witchcraft, that's still practicing heavily in Babylon. All these abominations are practiced heavily, man. Because there's no understanding of these people of the true power of the Bible. Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi. Everybody's worshiping idols except the elect of the nation of Israel. They're worshiping the true power of the Bible, which is Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, right? So I was just showing you that, like this guy was saying, this guy Jordan Maxwell, he was saying it was practice. There was sacrificing their children mostly to Moloch, and they was eating the babies. And now you seen that in the next clip, you seen it was a picture book, a child built a book, and it was showing you a monster that ate the children. more or less, that's Esau, Edom. What is it called? Predictive programming or revelation of the method, or he's telling you people what he really does, so he can have a guiltless conscience, right? So his conscience, so he won't feel guilty of doing it because he's telling you through, things of movies, TV shows, books, literature. You know, he's showing you what he does, but people um, just see it as just you know they just saying something, or just it's fictitious, and it doesn't really it's not really happening. But that's how he get it off his conscience. He don't feel guilty by doing these things because he already told you, but you failed to take heed of the signs, right? And then this lady here tells you that the majority of the meat, especially ground beef, are more or less is human. It's human meat in the food, which is disgusting, man. It's living under this devil, and like the scripture says, when you increase wisdom, you increase sorrows. He that increases, it might be like yeah, yeah. Ecclesiastes 1:18 says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increases sorrow." Right. So we understand these things are true because we increase the knowledge and wisdom of Yahawah, and it's vexing, man. It's vexing to the spirit, man. Vexing to the soul, vexing, like because we understand that these things are true, and we try our best to avoid these things, but it's no way possible that you can totally do it. And at the rate this devil is going, there will be no flesh left to be saved. And they were saying that your body doesn't like I think she was explaining it, that your body doesn't it's not built to consume human flesh, you know. More or less your body is um is consuming uh something that is not built to is not designed to digest, you know. And it's gonna lead to issues, you know. It's gonna lead to fatal issues, right? Consuming human flesh. You're not designed to do that. Just like these abominable animals, unclean animals. There's a side effect to eating these things, especially with the children of Israel. We don't supposed to eat those things. There's side effects. Same thing with human flesh. There's a side effect. You know, and what they tell you. This lady right here was talking to give an example of they were pulling meat from the shelf from Walmart. You know, and of course the McDonald thing, which they said I seen they was talking about all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, or whatever. That all beef patty. They said, well, you understand that McDonald's is not 100% beef, but they tell you in the commercials all beef patty. They said that's the name of the processing place. The name of the processing place for McDonald's is all beef patties or all beef patty. So they telling you that's where it's being processed at, but they said it's like it's soy. It's supposed to be ground beef and soy. So I don't know what the percentage of that is. Let's see if I can get it. But anyway, I'll probably come out of that. McDonald's. McDonald's uses U.S. beef suppliers is Lopez Foods, formerly Anderson Meats and Provisions. Let me see. Somebody was saying that all beef. Processing. Let's see. McDonald's 100% beef patties are produced by several independent third-party suppliers, mostly notable Lopez Foods and Trogrill, rather than a single company owned by McDonald's. These suppliers process fresh beef into frozen patties with other major partners, including Keystone Foods, OSI Industries. Well, I don't know. Somebody was saying that is. They saying here McDonald's does not own these suppliers but work with them to ensure strict quality standards are met for their supply chain. But somebody was saying that that's just the name of the processing plant. So I don't know how true that is. I think the person's not lying because it makes sense. Because they said they got let me see, does McDonald's have soy in his burger? Just seen somebody. While McDonald's U.S. beef patties contain 100% beef with no soy fillers, soy is present in other components of their burgers, the buns. So this says the buns. So, but I'll plant-based patties. Okay. If you are highly allergic to soy, you may want to exercise caution. For a pure beef experience, you will need to order the patty alone without the bun, cheese, or sauce. But I was hearing that's what they were saying. It was like it was made with soy. What somebody was saying was it might be true, but you don't got no information from Google. But I can believe it. I think it's possible, but who knows? I don't think the guy's making anything up. But yeah, these sacrifices that these elites are doing, and they having everybody participate without your acknowledgement or consent is a pagan ritual act from ancient times, and they're still doing it today, sacrificing children to Moloch and Baal, which basically is the same deity. Right? It says Moloch or Molech and Baal are closely related Canaanite deities, but are generally considered distinct figures. The Moloch often representing a specific horrific ritual child sacrifice, while Baal was a border title for various lord deities, both were worshipped ancient ancient Levant and often condemned together in the Hebrew Bible. Right, but they said, what is it? Right here, this is Modoc or Modoc, and by all the same, he says yes, Modoc is frequently identified with by all, specifically through the title Baal. And who you got right here? Look, the sun god himself, another sun god. What you talking about? That's why you go to sun and worship this dude here. He's talking about syncretism, because that's what Esau practices from 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 goddamn demon, from Roman Empire. They was practicing syncretism. It says syncretism. Some scholars argue that Moloch was not a separate deity, but rather a epithet or a specific condemned form of Baal worship. Right. For the epithet. Epithet. This is an adjective or descriptive phrase express a quality of characteristics of a person or thing mentioned. So, like I said, they're the same deity. And you look up on syncretism. Syncretism is the blending of diverse beliefs, cultural practices, or philosophies to create new, distinct systems. You know, and the Romans did that. It was big on that. You know, every civilization or nation that they conquered, they synchronized their gods and created. They took over their gods and made, they tweaked them and gave them new names, and they twisted up the background story to fit their likings. More or less that put them into it. And they did the same thing when they conquered Jerusalem. That's why you got that guy here that I just showed you. That's why you got this devil here as the Messiah, right? It's because when they conquered the children of Israel, 70 AD roughly, when they took over, destroyed the temple, conquered the people, they took our book, like it says in First Maccabees. The heathens opened up the book of the law and painted the likeness of their images, roughly paraphrasing. That's where you get this devil here. So going back to the theme of the video. These devils are practicing ancient customs, man. They've been doing this since the ancient times. There's nothing newer in the sun. They are worshiping Baal and Moloch still in the secrets, sacrament, committing acts of child sacrifices and with other abominable acts. These devils are still doing these behind the scenes. And it's got the ones that needs to be deceived, that Yahawah doesn't care for. because he only cared for his elect on this side. You know, so like the scripture said, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So if you don't believe, you really don't care. Romans 3:3. Who care? What if some didn't believe? Would it make the faith of Yahawah with no effect? So if you don't believe what is being said, it's not gonna hurt me or harm me at all. It's to your detriment. You know, if you don't believe the words of Yahawah from his prophets, the apostles and elders on down, you know, it's not gonna hurt us at all. So yeah, they've been practicing. They've been doing these things in ancient time. And they're doing the wicked Esau Edom. He's still doing it behind the scenes, and the evidence is out there. So I'm gonna in it off right there. Who was edifying to the elect? I'm gonna say call Halayamlah, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Shalom. Till next time, Yahawah Rawchaa, which means Lord willing, and why abide the ball.